Big Hard Books and Classics. Hello, my name's Alan. Welcome to my channel. I come to you tonight on the Washington-Oregon border. In fact, you might hear some geese flying, migrating south in the background. I hear them, and you might hear the rush of the Columbia River. We're like a stone's throw away. And I'm reviewing this book, Jester, by James Patterson. And although it is it's a big book and it's a hardcover book, it's hard, it is hardly a big hard book and classic. But let me tell you why. It wasn't even in my TBR, but let me tell you why I read it. Coming right up. Well, that was a pregnant pause. I just wanted to drop my book off because it's kind of drizzling here. And this is going to be a short review. But I'm in the midst of reading Paradise Lost with 3 other people, and we're on a Voxer group, and we're taking it slow. There's 12 books in Paradise Lost, and we're only reading like 1 book a week so far. And it's at a good pace. It gives us a chance to read it a couple times, and that's from the light, I'm sorry. And I'm also rereading Valis by Philip K. Dick. Buddy reading that with Ramsey at Rajathon. And that is a dense book, people. We've been reading that for a couple months now. And I'm also, now that I've read it, I'm going to listen to it on audio. And probably won't review that till next month. But, so I needed something to cleanse my palate, and I like crime fiction. And this book, Jester, was a recommendation. I'm sorry about this halo effect. Jester was a recommendation from a friend of mine in Moultrie, Georgia, when I was down there earlier this year. And he had read it in jail, said it was one of the best books he ever read. Now, it's hardly the best book I've ever read, but it's a good book, and it's not like Patterson, because it's not like a crime novel. It's not crime fiction at all. It takes place in the 14th century in France, and kings and queens, and a lot of violence, a lot of peasants, and that a lot of sex, righteous sex, and it's like a Patterson book in that the chapters are real short. There's 153 chapters in here in all. And there's a prologue and an epilogue, like all his books. Let's see. There's no comparison to like a Ken Follett in the Kingsbury series that began with Pillars of the Earth. However, there are similarities for me, because when I read Pillars of the Earth like 25 years ago, I remember very clearly. I was on a bus one time reading it, and one of the main characters suddenly is killed. And I went, "Wah!" Yelled. I said, "No!" And everyone on the bus turned and looked at me. I said, "Oh, no, it's just a book. It's a book." They said, "Oh, okay." But so there's several times in Jester that I did that too. I said, "What?" And it's always a good sign of a book. And there's some laugh out loud moments as well. It's basically a revenge story, how do you say, somebody rising up and getting people to join in, and the low towering over the high, but you never quite know if he's going to make it, the tension. It is like watching a movie. It really was, and I really enjoyed it. I read it just in a few days. Like I said, I hadn't planned on reading it, but with the elections and, the COVID, and now in Oregon, we're on a freeze until I think December 14th, where like even more things are closed now. And that's why I had an opportunity to come up here and live for a while. And it's quite a few miles. I think it's like 30 miles away from Portland. So I am still in Oregon, but just barely. The last 100 pages I couldn't put down. I read the last 100 pages just like this afternoon. So that's a good sign. I'm glad I read it, and I highly recommend it. If you like Patterson, you'll really like this novel. And if you just want some, some the fluff and light reading, you'll like it. Something to take your mind off time. So I recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the end, there's acknowledgments and also a bibliography of research that they did. So he wrote it with a co-writer, but he did his research, so it's pretty authentic, and so I recommend it. I wouldn't give it 5 stars. I really don't do star ratings anyway, but it's good. So just a brief one for you guys, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Ciao.